Today's lesson in writing should be pretty short and sweet if you've already written all 5 of your chapters. If you haven't written all 5 chapters, then you need to stop this video, go back and write all 5 chapters. So what we're going to do today is we're going to decide the order that we want our chapters to appear in our book. Just because I already have them written down in a certain order doesn't mean that that's the best order to keep them in. Because you might remember that when we first started brainstorming, these are just the order that they came to my brain in. So I need to go through and decide what order I want them to appear in my book. So we are not, let me repeat, not going to start actually copying our stories over today because we haven't edited them and make sure that they're perfect. Well, not perfect, but really, really good. So today, all we're going to do, you're going to get your book that I gave you. If you lost it, get a couple pieces of paper. That's all this book is a couple pieces of paper folded in half, all right? So if you lost it, take like 4 or 5 pieces of paper, fold them in half, call it a day. It doesn't have to be stapled, but you could staple it. All right, so we're gonna skip the front. I'm not ready for that yet, and I'm just gonna go to the very first page on the inside. I'm going to use a pencil, that way if I mess up or I change my mind, I can fix it. But you don't want to do a bunch of erasing. This is your final product. You want it to look really good. So in very, very nice handwriting, they want you to write table of contents. So there we go, table of contents. So pause this and copy that down into your book. The next step is going to be that you are going to take all of your chapters and write them in your book in the order you want them to appear. So before you write, you need to figure that out. So I'm going to put this to the side. Here are my chapters: Zoom, Seesaw, accountability, recording videos, and materials needed. Now let me look real quick. What would be the best way to start talking about teaching virtually? Jumping right into Zoom, I don't know if that's the best idea. I kind of feel like the materials needed list would make more sense to have first, because you need to have those materials to be able to do all the other things I'm saying. So I'm going to number them. 1 is going to be materials needed. All right, what makes sense? Now, I don't want to do accountability next because that would be 2 lists in a row, which could be kind of boring. So I'm not going to do that. So once you have your materials needed, it might be good to, I might go into Zoom then. So Zoom next, and if I don't do a lesson on Zoom, I do a lesson through recording a video. So I'd probably, why did I number that a 3? That doesn't make sense. 2 is Zoom, and see, that's exactly why I didn't write in my book yet. I want to make sure I know what I'm doing before I do it. And then 3, I think, is recorded video. So that way I have a list, a story, and then information. And then I think I will do, so now I'm doing how to teach things. Next would be how to like assign assignments and grade things, so Seesaw, and I'm going to end with keeping people accountable. So that's the order I want to go in. So now all I have to do is, in really, really nice handwriting, copy that into my book. So I'm going to do number 1, materials needed. I'll show you that and then I'll pause and finish the rest. So you're going to do chapter, I can write chapter 1, and then I'm going to put, because I do need to put page numbers on here, so I want to make sure that I have room for that. So chapter 1 is going to be materials needed. And then what I want to do is make sure that I leave some space over here, because this is going to be what pages it's on, but don't put the page numbers yet, because when you copy it down, you don't know how many pages it's going to take up. So just put page and leave a spot to put the page number. So I'm going to finish copying my list. Let me show you what this looks like. All right, so here we go. This is my completed table of contents. This is similar to what yours needs to look like. So you'll put each chapter, and if you won't want to write chapter 1, if you just want to write a number 1 before it, that's fine. I just like the way that this is very organized. So chapter 1, materials needed, ... page. Just leave out the page numbers. Once you have decided your order and you have written it in your book, that's all we're doing for today. All right, so get that done. See ya.